Welcome to High Tea Podcast. We're your hosts Mel, Kel, and Kay, where we sip and speak on what many are thinking but are too shy and not bold enough to say. So buckle up, grab a glass, and pinkies up. Now enough stalling. Let's get into the show.
What up, y'all? It is a Monday. Another Monday.
Oh my gosh. Manic Monday.
Ooh, I feel that. I feel that in my heart. Yeah, that's the truth. All right, y'all. Well, on this Monday, we decided to be a little vulnerable. Not too much. Don't get excited.
Yeah, right.
Just a little bit. Don't wall out. But we're gonna get a little vulnerable with you today and talk about some real ass shit that most people do not like to talk about unless they're like R&B singers. What? I'm just saying.
That's so true.
Like, nobody wants to talk about this shit, so we gonna talk about it for you. We gonna talk about, good Heartbreak, as I call it, Heartbreak Hotel. Okay, it's the room for 141, and it sucks ass. It's a very 0 out of 0 stars, just all zeros. And then we're also obviously gonna have our social media moment, and we're gonna talk about grieving the person that you thought they were, and what that means, and how to move past it, and what your next steps and all that good shenanigans is. And then, of course, our weekly recommendations. So, ladies, ask my first question. What is your top TV or movie breakup or cheating moment? Because I gotta throw some toxicity in
Oh, yeah.
right at the start. Just all of it.
Balance.
I love some toxicity.
No remorse.
Oh, man. I think for me, it would definitely be that scene in Waiting to Exhale where Angela Bassett sets that car on fire and she walks away.
Ooh.
That just brings me joy, And
That's
then
like
she goes
the
back
OG
with
Lemonade.
her friends. Yes. Okay, you know what? Don't even start.
Sorry.
But yes, the analogy is correct.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyway. But
Gangsta
that whole scene, and then the fact that she goes back to her group of friends of, I think about 7 or 6 of the women were together, and it just reminds me of us in our friendship. How
we crazy as hell, but then we go right back to things like it's a normal day.
That too. The fact that we can have low moments separately, but come together and really just vent it out together, and then we all can relish in that emotion. And at the end of the day, we just know that we got each other. Who needs a man,
You right.
Yeah.
Because love our men. Love them. We really do. But sometimes we can give a fuck about y'all. That's just how it be sometimes.
Facts.
But we do love our peeps. Okay. Miss Kishana, you want me to go or you want to go?
So I think mine's, because I think is it's from the show Schmidt's Creek, and it's the break. I know you guys never seen the show before, but I binged it and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the daughter, Alexis, and her long-term boyfriend from when she moved into that town that they live in. So his name is Ted, and he was like the sweetest guy ever. He was a veterinarian, and he was very sensitive and emotional but caring. And they broke up originally the first time in the show in, like, I think season 2, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, he's too nice for me. So they broke up, and then they reconnected as she was working for him, and then she realized, this is why I liked him, because he was nice to me. So their relationship lasted until the second time around, till the end of the season, where she encouraged him to pursue his dreams, to like go on this veterinary trip to Guatemala, and he ended up staying there. And she like basically was just like, stay, like, don't give up your dreams for me, and if we're meant to be, we'll be. But it was just sad because it was like a understanding breakup, but it was very heartbreaking because you thought that this was going to be like the power couple, because they were a power couple basically. But it wasn't like for cheating or anything like that. It was because they were encouraging each other to pursue their dreams, and she wanted to like become a publicist and all this stuff like that, and she was very good at it. So he like encouraged her to do that and not to give it up for him, and she encouraged him to not to give up his dreams for her.
That's
So
Wow, that's deep.
it was sweet, but that shit made me cry. Like I was just like, no, you gotta stay together. So yeah, white people shit.
hey, I need a dose of it every once in a while because it's usually not my problems.
Right.
Yep.
Speaking of not my problems, my favorite because I'm toxic, cheating is Scandal, Olivia and the President.
Ooh.
I fucking love the
Oh.
whole beginning of this toxic shit. It was
Yeah.
so scandalous.
Fucking Olivia
Ah,
Pope.
fucking
That was
Olivia
the
Pope's such a
time.
badass, and I love them. It's great. I mean, his wife, poor woman, but she made it well in the end. It's all right. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
They worked it out. But
They
anyway,
worked it out.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna be in politics and in marriage, you gotta learn some rules. Just putting it out there. So my next question is gonna be best breakup song or artist.
Whew.
All right, so I'm gonna have to shout out my karaoke song, "So Sick" by Neo.
Oh
That shit
wow!
always like hits my heart in a
Oh
certain way.
wow! I was not prepared for
Yeah, man,
that.
that's my karaoke song right there. You want to put me in my bag? Just play that.
All right, I will be remembering this
Yes.
piece of information.
If you ever want to see me in my bag, just play that song.
Man.
All right. Learning something new about my boo. I love this. Okay. Well, mine's is it feels very basic, bitch, but I don't give a fuck because this is who I am. Anything Keisha Cole.
Oh,
Yes, that's what I
Your
put.
that's the
girl,
queen of heartbreak right
the
there.
girl
My
knows
God,
how
man.
to talk about heartbreak because you feel the emotions in every little
Dang, man.
vocal. You're like,
Yeah.
yes, bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck.
She makes me want to fight whoever broke her
Yes.
heart.
Yes. Oh my
That's what
God.
happens. I be wanting to find that person like who hurt Keisha. Who did it?
Yep.
Who did it?
Like, the girl can sing about some heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Like
my
call
vote.
the radio if you just can't be
Without you,
without your
baby.
baby.
I literally put Mary J. Blige.
You did?
Yes, I did. Because
Oh,
she's
she
literally
can.
it.
Oh yes.
She is like the woman's
Mm-hmm.
anthem, and she can speak to any woman of any age. Like
No matter right.
she's fucking badass.
13
I
to
swear.
75.
13 to 75 demographic.
Yeah, man.
Because
We
13-year-old me
through
was
it.
singing them songs. Every little vocal I could hit, I was hitting them.
Right. Had no idea
Yep.
what we were singing about, but
Not a lick of sense.
With that Mariah Carey finger.
ooh.
Yeah,
Yep.
Ooh.
I wish y'all could have seen me just now.
I know.
No. The next breakup song, since Melissa likes Toxic, Before He Cheats. And like that shit will always make you want to just go ham on someone's car.
Yes.
She invoked the violence.
Mm-hmm. She did.
Hold
then, you know,
Sweet
up.
blonde girl.
But you know, she made her comeback. She had to back it back up with Jesus Take the Wheel. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever. Jesus took the wheel, all right.
took the wheel right into that car.
I actually have like a whole top 100 type of music playlist that I have to listen to. Because for the most part, I have to not listen to my own playlist because I connect people to memories. So
Got
I
it.
usually stick to the Mary J. Blige, the Share My World, and the My Life album, and Keisha Cole, Remy Ma.
Oh.
I be bouncing Remy Ma.
Okay.
So gotta have that. The
Hi,
Frank
Kella.
Ocean mixtapes. I know, hey.
First of all, Frank Ocean, anything. Frank Ocean
But
can
it's
get
the
me in
mixtapes.
any mood you could think of. There's a song that he's made that's put me in that mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John Mayer.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. His voice.
It's his voice, but I feel like John Mayer is more like not really loving, but he's in a category of himself when it comes to like, is it really breakup music?
No, it's not breakup music, but it's just I think for me, because I
It's
also
just
put
soothing. Is that what
Frank
it is?
Sinatra. Yeah,
It's the
I
soothing
need
of
that.
okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a way to
Oh,
escape.
I got it. I got what Kelly's doing. Kelly's doing
Got
like
it.
what soothes you during like a
Mm-hmm.
breakup. Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's like a warm hug
Okay.
and a
I'm sorry,
blanket.
girl. It's just the gangster shit for me.
Yeah,
I know, I know, I know,
You know, I got a little gangster in my veins.
I
I either
know.
needed to be like hella vocal, like yelling at the top of your lungs, feeling
Mm-hmm.
it, or I needed to be gangster. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
those
no
are my
in
two.
between.
Yeah,
I
those are
feel
my
it.
two.
When I'm in my angry mode, that's when it pumps up. But at the very beginning stages, it has to be like, let me get my emotions together. I need
Mm.
something to chill me out. And then also Amy Winehouse. I love Amy. I
Oh,
miss Amy. She went too
We all
soon.
do.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
But those are mine.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
All right. Love you both. That was great. Um, so want to bring up before we even deep dive into anything else. I want to bring up. We talked about this on here before. There is different types of heartbreak. You can have heartbreak from your friendships, from your professional career, whatever, and your love life. Like there is many different forms of heartbreak.
Yes.
So let's not. I don't want any confusion of
It's just
that we think it's
romantic.
just love. No, it's not. Because sometimes love will be all right. It's gonna be okay. There's other shit going on in life,
Right.
and also love with yourself. Like you could be heartbroken by yourself because that's a thing.
Yep.
Yep. True.
So speaking of differences, I also want to point out, depending on whose age is hearing this, there is a difference in the high school lust romance and the full adult mind fucking boggling fucking up your life heartbreak.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I
Just
agree.
put that out there. Because the high school shit does not last long. That heartbreak
No.
is very quick. It's like a band-aid. It's just like
Shit, you forgot that happened. You be forgetting that shit
you move
happened.
on. You just hopped on over around everything else. Like you just kept pushing.
Mm-hmm.
But that adult like break, like you feel like you're literally dying from broken
Mm-hmm.
heartbreak is some
Mm-hmm.
real shit. And I know my first adulthood heartbreak, it broke me like emotionally and mentally the most. Physically, I was already stressed anyway, so that shit did not phase the physical part.
Mm.
But because your girl stays stressed, um, but it causes you to really deep dive into a lot of stuff, and like all three of us are very much overthinkers. And so when we get in our thoughts, we get in our thoughts, and it can go a number of
Mm-hmm.
ways that we
Mm-hmm.
don't always want. But for especially for people like us, like we have to know how to navigate through those thoughts, and you have to start questioning a lot of the decisions you've made or the trust that you had in things that you have to think, all right, where did I go wrong in this to get me to this point? What do y'all think about
Yeah.
that?
No, you are right. I feel like those are evaluations that you do end up making once you get onto that road of once you get into that road of like
Recovery.
re yeah, especially looking back on things now, it's just like, damn, you have to do a lot of self evaluating once you do get your heart broken, or
Mm-hmm.
if you do the heartbreaking, because sometimes people don't realize that as well. Like breaking up somebody can break you as well, but you gotta,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like,
People think that if you're the person who's breaking up with the other person, that you're gonna walk away being okay and life is gonna be normal. No, 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 no. You now have to mourn the choice you made of leaving that person and what
yep,
comes with that,
yep,
Yeah.
and also still dealing with the loss of that person.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't mean loss as death.
No,
But it feels like a
them
death.
in your life. I mean, don't put us in the middle of all that. Don't keep your crazy in your own house.
Right.
My God.
What? Listen, people
It's
are out
so
here wilding
true.
in these streets. I want nobody to say nothing about us.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, but also, before you even get to that point of figuring out what you could have done to avoid it or what role you had to play in it, there is that numbness that happens
Mm.
where you just can't feel anything because it's so overwhelming of just inner nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were some of the other things that y'all have experienced during like your heartbreak phases?
Shutting down,
Mm.
because I'm a person who doesn't like to deal with my emotions. Not in the sense of like I don't sort them out. It's just the fact that I don't like to express them. So for me, it's like I shut down within myself and just deal with them internally. Because Melissa's known me for years, and she can definitely vouch for the fact that I don't really get super emotional about things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I don't like to emotionally dump myself onto other people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it, I felt like it was at the end of it, I feel like it was a very unnecessary thing to do. So for so long, I've just gotten so used to like keeping my emotions to myself and just dealing with things internally. And I feel like I do get over things a little better dealing with them internally. So I think for me, back in like my early 20s, when I experienced my first official heartbreak, when I realized what heartbreak was, because like Melissa said in the beginning, that high school puppy love shit, that's not heartbreak.
Nah.
Mm.
That's literally stepping stones into this world. And I have little cousins that I have to tell that to them constantly. And I'm just like, these little PP little boys, that's not heartbreak. That's you just experiencing puppy love for the first time in your life. When you become an adult and you actually start seeing yourself with a person for the long haul, that's true heartbreak.
And there's consequences
Yeah.
to the heartbreak, not just
Right.
seeing each other in the hallway.
Right. And then fucking smashing his friend next week. Like that's no. That's high school shit. That's like high school
Oh my
college
God.
shit.
Oh.
Yo, these little people are fucking wild nowadays.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Because that was never a thought of mine of breaking up. If I ever got broken up with or broke up with someone, my thought was never, let me go fuck their best friend next week. Let me
Right.
fuck around and fuck somebody
Oh
else
God.
Right.
that he cares about. Like, the hell? I don't want nobody touching me.
Right. That was no one's thoughts back then.
Do not touch me.
Yeah, but it's also knowing, I think especially with dealing with heartbreak, you have to understand what your coping mechanisms are. Everybody copes differently. You may not cope the same way a friend copes. Like I said, I shut down. Melissa likes to vent. So that's our coping mechanisms.
Well, that's
So
one of mine.
that's one of yours, right?
I go from shutdown to vent, but usually the vent happens after the shutdown when I've taken the time to yell and scream and rage and cry and all the gross things that people do when they're heartbroken and piss the fuck off. And then I go tell the girls what
See,
happened.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I do feel like I'm a sociopath sometimes because I don't even really do the rage and cry part.
Mm.
And a lot of people do the rage and cry part.
Well, at least I feel like have a better handle on your angers and frustrations.
Oh, because I had
Yes.
anger issues when I was younger, so I had
Yeah.
no choice but to deal with them
Most
when I got
people
older.
don't deal with their anger issues well. Like I don't properly handle certain things well, and anger is one of them, which is why I
Yeah.
just suppress it until it's time for that bitch to come out.
Mhm.
Because it's
Then
not worth her being free. She
it's
is
all
not
hail Medusa.
yeah, it's not a free Britney situation though. That bitch needs to be blocked away. Um, so yeah, when I'm heartbroken, I'm pissed the fuck off. I am angry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Them, myself, whoever, everybody.
Yeah. I think some of the things that I've experienced and what I'm currently going through is the loss of pride.
Mm.
And that may sound very weird. And that loss of pride can go with emptiness, but not emptiness in the sense of that person was everything to you and like your whole life. Like, I ain't that way. But
Hmm.
the loss of pride is a thing where, like, you just knew for this whole amount of time that things were good. Like,
Right.
everything is going straight, there's nothing wrong, but something happened and something switched that it's just like, okay, so this is just going to go downhill and we're just going to go off on bad terms. And to do that after having been with somebody for so long, it's almost a thing of like you wasted your time. And you can't think, you don't want to think that you wasted your time,
Yeah.
but at the same time you did. And in my sense, it's a whole decade. And how we were just talking about those whole puppy love type of things in high school. In my instance, I had gotten with my first and only boyfriend in high school in senior year, and it was completely long distance. So that's a whole different type of relationship in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in a good way to look at it, being long distance the entire time was good, but also it sucks really bad because it's almost like you were never in a relationship when you think back on it. And
Yeah.
that sucks. And that can make it feel like you literally wasted your time. Even though you saw the person face to face many times, it still doesn't make the fact that, like, were you really in a relationship? Was it all just like fake? Was it kind of like a catfish situation?
Not
And
the catfish.
not you know,
Oh wow.
miles in between. But
Not judging. I wasn't expecting that.
yeah, but the fact of the matter is you just feel like, what are you going to do after the fact of everything?
It feels
Like,
like a bamboozle. Like you look at your pride,
yeah,
like bitch, you really let yourself do all
waste your
this
time.
to get
Yeah.
to this point. Like,
Mm,
In my experience with my first heartbreak, what I did was question my judgment.
mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
And at that time, I always felt like I was a person who had good judgment.
Good judgment. Yeah.
And, getting your heart broken by someone that you thought was someone else
Mm-hmm.
makes you question your judgment, especially your judgment, especially if you're a person who not really pride yourself, but it make you feel like you have fuck, how do I say this without sounding condescending? That's what I'm trying to
Right.
say
That's
this.
my
Well,
issue.
you edit
Yeah,
it, so
it's
just
not.
say it, and then we can help you figure it out.
No. I don't care about that. It's just the fact that
Saying.
Sociopath.
you're right. Like, I don't want to sound like a fucking asshole or whatever. Well, I don't really care about
Well,
sounding like
that's
an
what I
asshole
said. We
either.
can help you clean it
But
up. Just tell us.
I guess okay. I'm gonna just say it. It makes you feel a type of way about yourself once you gotten your heart broken. It makes you question your judgment, especially when you have felt that you have better judgment that better judgment or better instincts or intuition about people than most.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what brought me to kind of be the person that I am today, where I'm very selective about who I do and don't give my time to, and also my vetting process as well. So for me, I like how, going back to our conversation about red flags, in that situationship that relationship that turned into a situationship, which was fucking sad. That was the biggest red flag in the first place. I ignored certain red flags within that, so I could have saved myself the heartbreak if I didn't just take the person for
For what
the
you
boxes
thought.
that they checked.
Yeah.
Because this person checked a lot of boxes. At me being 22 years old, it's just like this was the most magnificent thing in the world, that this person was older than me and checked all these boxes. But I ignored so many flags on top of that, especially being at the age that I am now, reflecting back on that.
Bitch, I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's just like, that's why I always this one thing I always say, I don't think you should see people for the potential that they can be, but see them as
Mhm.
how they present themselves currently. And I
Well,
think
and that's
that's one
hard
thing.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's hard
I know it's
for a
hard,
lot of
but
people.
it is. But I had to literally force myself to get myself into that mindset, because that is something that I realized was like a trend in most heartbreak. Like, we
Mhm.
ride on the potential of what somebody can be versus just accepting them and taking them to how they present themselves to be.
Well, not to
Yeah.
go on a super side tangent of it, but I think that ties into the fact of especially how we are as a culture and how like I feel like I'm very much like this. I'm very like goal orientated to be like, all right, this is my goal for this. This is my goal for that. These are the things I need to know that I have in order to feel like I'm doing something. So when you're like looking at a partner, you're like, oh, well, this is the image I have in my head of this, and this, and this. Those are the only things that you're seeing because you're looking to find the boxes to check. You're asking all the questions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you feel like you're getting to know them, but no, you're just interviewing them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I felt like what screwed me, for the fact that I was getting the answers and seeing the things that I wanted to see, but underneath that there was
You didn't
other
ask the real
underlining shit that
questions.
was way more bigger than that.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
asked the wrong questions.
No, it's not even the wrong questions. It took silence for me to figure those things out, because there's certain things that people do in silence, that, or in
Mhm.
like tiny conversations, that you don't even think it's something that's an issue, but it becomes an issue. And I think I did mention this on like one of our previous episodes before about this person. And this was one of the things that I feel very strongly about, especially being a person who wants kids in the future. I don't feel like, especially when it comes to sexuality, I don't feel like no one should choose their kid's sexuality for them. And I'm a person where I feel like you respect people how they are, and even if it's something that you don't accept, you respect it regardless.
Mhm.
Because, like we said, you don't feed them, you don't fuck them, you don't pay their bills. Why does their lifestyle affect yours? And we had a conversation, because this person like was I told you guys he was a principal at an all boys school, and I felt some type of way where he was just like, oh, I wouldn't where he was like, oh, that he would feel some type of way if his son in the future came to him and said that I'm gay. And I'm just like, okay, and what would you do if your kid came to you? He was like, I probably would not disown him, I probably won't speak to him at all. And I'm just like, but that's
Mhm.
your kid. Wouldn't you support your kid as long as they're happy? And he was like, no, I'm not with that gay shit. So
Oh,
for me, it's just like, that's something that fucks with me, because, and then I asked him, now, what if it's your daughter? And he was like, oh, she'll probably, it's just probably just a phase. That to me is just
Mhm.
like,
first of
whoa.
That's
all,
messed
all
up.
problematic
So
statements.
exactly. And
Yeah.
then for me, that was like that was like the fucking, the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what did it for
Mhm.
me.
That super nasty, hetero, homo hating ass toxicity.
Right.
Ugh, sorry.
That's what really did it for me, is the fact that, and I'm a person that feels very strongly about that, where it's just like, it may not be my lifestyle, but I respect people who have that lifestyle, and I don't judge them
Mhm.
for it, because
Right.
those are your choices you make in life, and you should be happy while making whatever choices you make in life, and no one should put you down for your choices. And that's just how I felt about it. So for me, I need a partner that understands that, respects that. You don't have to support it, but you don't have to be a fucking asshole about it.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that broke me, because when it comes to family, like, I need to see what your family values are, because family is very fucking important to me. And if your values and your lifestyle and your outlook on family isn't the same as mine, or nearly as similar, I'm good. Peace out. Deuces. Thanks for the food.
You said it right.
Boy.
Yes. So that yes. And I vividly remember that conversation, laying there in this dude's bed, and we were watching Martin, and I remember that, and I was just like, wow.
That's always going to stick in the back of your head.
So
That's
yeah.
not going anywhere.
Oh yeah, because that's something I feel strongly about.
Mhm.
as you should, as everyone should. But
Yeah.
you know,
Whether you want a family or not.
you just need to, like, for me, it's like the having a safe environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one thing. When I become a parent, I want my child to feel like they're in a safe environment, not an environment where they feel like I'm their friend, an environment where they know that they can
Right.
talk to me about anything that they ever need to. And if
Exactly.
it needs to be a
Mm-hmm.
cone of silence thing where you're like, I don't want to get in trouble, but you know you damn well gonna get in trouble, like, just tell me what the hell's going on instead of holding things in and getting yourself deeper into some crap. No, I want my child to feel like they can admit things when they know they've done wrong and they want to fix it because they know
Right.
that's the
Mm-hmm.
adult thing to do.
Yeah.
So for someone to not feel like that part of their life, which is a huge identifier, if they can't feel like they can be genuinely who they are in front of me as their parent,
Then you
Mm-hmm.
failed as a parent. And that's how I feel. That's
yeah,
how I feel about it. Like, you failed as a parent. You did
you
not do your
raise that
job.
child to be a
Yeah.
mold of something that you think a person, your child, should be. Not even a person, your child. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
want that. I want my child to be a human that I'm raising in this earth to be exactly who they're supposed to be. I'm just
Yeah.
praying
And
they not evil.
right. Your process along the road is just to guide them. That is literally it.
Mm-hmm.
As long
But
as
yeah.
my child don't come out a sociopath or some fucking crazy ass motherfucker, we cool.
Sadly, even to that you can't even pick.
Listen, I I won't. I'll tell y'all off air what I would do, but I I just pray it doesn't happen. I can't.
As long as Dr. Phil ain't involved.
First of all, don't let Dr. Phil
Oh
come anywhere
Lord.
near me, my children, and or anything else. Keep him far away from me. Anyways, speaking
Yeah.
of Dr. Phil, just kidding. Um, what were some things that started to help you kind of get out of the phases of the heartbreak?
Um, I'm not technically out of it, but I will say that like one of my coping methods, which is not necessarily the healthiest, is completely booking my schedule. Like y'all know, I'm a busy bee without really having a schedule. But when I'm going through something like this, you ain't gonna find me. I'm gonna be occupying myself with work, extra hobbies, extra side gigs, doing regular office type of work. Luckily, this podcast has literally saved my life, probably. Like the fact that I do everything for social media. I'm completely occupied. I have a schedule for that in particular, and I have to make those deadlines. And the fact that we can come on and record every single Sunday, or in this case, on a Monday evening, it's helpful because it's kind of like a vent session
Yep.
and it helps to get
Consistent.
that girl energy out, that camaraderie, and just have girl time with
Yeah.
all of our listeners, of course. And just having a book schedule for me, it may not be the greatest thing, but for me, it helps because
Yeah.
my mind can be focused on something completely different. And it does come to a point where in the evenings, or if I see something or hear something, something will click in my head and it'll bring me back to that space or remind me of something that happened. But I get back into the mode of either cooking, cleaning, crafting, building something. I just have to be occupied.
Mm-mm. Good shit.
Well, I
Yeah.
think being first of all, our lives are consistently that. It's not getting any better. I think we've set ourselves up for failure. Um, but we are here either way. So, um, I think as you start to go into your next phases, one thing that helped me kind of move to a next phase is not just staying busy, but in being busy, allow time for me to relax, relate, relief of with myself and not involving
Mhm.
others. So like blocking off a couple hours for me to do my nails or
Yeah.
taking my hair to get myself to get my hair done or going on a dinner or movies or whatever. Just something that was just me to where I have time to process not even the relationship or whatever it is, just life,
Mm-hmm.
that helped kind of get me out of this woe is me mind or fuck that motherfucker mind or whatever mind I was in the 50,000 minds you will have.
Oh Lord. So
You
real.
go from knucking you buck to, oh bitch, you crying in the corner, you better stop. Like like the mood changes are serious.
Oh gosh.
But that's
Yeah.
something that worked for me.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing about it is that you can't go based on other people. You have to literally do what's best for you. And you
Mm-hmm.
can't have people telling you that you shouldn't do that or that's not good enough or maybe you should get with somebody else. That ain't
First of
good.
all,
That's definitely not healthy.
speaking of toxic, don't do that.
Mm,
As a person who has done that, don't do that. It's
mm.
not worth it. It's traditionally not. It's usually actually anti worth it.
Yeah, and you'll get an STD, STI, anything. It's gonna be
Whoa.
karma, I'm
I
sure.
wrapped it up. Thank you.
Hey, you don't know.
Keep
Things
it safe
break.
out here. First of all, bitch, knock on wood. Don't do that to me. I
Actually, this is a side note, but you know, Trojan, they just had in their manufacturing plant a whole bunch of condoms had holes in them. So if y'all are going to be having protected sex, it may not be protected. So switch to another brand.
Oh my god, Kelly.
I'm just saying.
Wow. Anyways, yes, do not sleep with people just to get over someone.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
no, that's weird.
That's a bad idea. Don't.
That's very weird.
What they
I
say to get over somebody, get
You
under
gotta get under
them?
somebody. Yeah, no, that's weird.
Lord, no.
see that works if the person you're trying to get over is like a high school lust type of situation.
Yeah,
But not in your
But
adult life. Like, come on.
like
don't do that.
I've noticed that women and men definitely react differently to heartbreak. Like especially a certain set number of men will just start to wild out immediately and try to sleep
Mm-hmm.
with and do and party and whatever. And then they go into their heartbreak phase of, oh shit, she left me, it's really over, whatever, fuck her. And
Mm.
women do the opposite. They go through their heartbreak and then they go through their party phase of just like, well, I'm over this shit. Get the fuck out of here. I'm good.
Yeah, because looking back
Mm.
at it, it did take me a while to start dating again.
Yeah,
And
you
I think it
can't.
was more like a personal choice of, I just want to do me for the meantime. Like, I'm good.
As
Mm-hmm.
you should.
Like, let me do my shit. Let me enjoy these couple years that I took off with freedom and just fucking live my shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, getting into like, and not to judge anyone, but going from relationship to relationship, you have no time to deal with your own personal
No,
shit
No, you
from
don't.
the
at all.
previous X amount relationships and just in general in life. So you bouncing from to relationship to relationship. Relationships are a lot of fucking work. They
They are.
require you to think
Mm-hmm.
about someone else consistently in a number of different ways, like how you interact, your habits, how you go think about grocery shopping, when to be selfish and when to not be selfish. Like there's so much stuff that you have to think about in a
Yep.
relationship
Yeah.
that you need time in between in your relationships to process life because all your work you literally are concerned about everyone but you.
Yeah.
And I think processing is like a big part of it as well. Like, if you don't give your time to process, like, all that shit comes piling up. And when shit
Mm-hmm.
hits the fan and it hits hard,
You finna have a panic attack,
you're finna have a
It's
panic
Hurricane
attack.
Katrina.
Shit. You,
have a fucking breakdown
Mm.
all the brokenness shows. And I don't think
randomly.
a lot of time people don't realize that's where the brokenness comes from you not processing and dealing.
Yeah. And that's with any trauma,
Yeah.
home trauma, personal trauma, anything. You got to deal
Yep.
with that,
Yep.
therapist or not.
Yep. Whatever way you can deal with it, deal with it. Just not in some unhealthy way like with drugs and alcohol. Protect yourself, protect your body, your energy.
Being heartbroken sucks.
It
Trust me.
does.
It.
It does. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants to be there. But you know what? Those are learning phases. Like, you have to go there in order to learn.
But you have to remember that you need to come out of it.
Yes.
And I know for some people who deal with like depression and different mental illnesses and all the different things, like if you are able to come out of it, that is the path you want to take. You don't want to sulk in it. You don't want to become obsessive with it. It is a moment that you have to eventually get over.
Yes.
Mm.
Because if you and that person are meant to be, then you will, and if not, you're not.
Right.
You have to
Yeah.
move on and move and live your life, because clearly you and that person are not meant to work right now,
Nope.
Mm.
And that's okay.
and
And
that's
I think
okay.
people get lost in the idea of loving one person forever. And I'm not knocking it at all, but I feel like a lot of times people have to get a little bit more realistic about it. Like I understand that you loved one person so wholeheartedly with everything that you have, but you shouldn't close yourself off to being able to experience that again, because you never know, the next time you experience it, it can be something completely different and something completely better. So I don't believe that you only love one person hard in your lifetime.
No,
I believe you can love multiple people
a thousand
as
percent.
hard or 1,000 times harder, and it
Mm.
may even be a lot more healthier.
As long as you're on that list.
As long as you're loving yourself as well. And I think a lot of the times that's when it works out, when you
In
love
more ways
yourself.
than one, ladies.
Yes.
Wink, wink. There you go.
Mm.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying, a little self love never hurt nobody.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
No, but I 1,000% agree with you, because unfortunately, regardless of what type of person you are in dating and in life, like playing the field is not as bad of a thing as people can make it seem like. You can play the field however you choose to,
Yes.
because playing the field teaches you things. It
Yes, it
teaches you
does.
about
Mm.
what's normal and what's not normal in a relationship. It teaches you about boundaries and how you properly communicate those with the people that you're attracted to. Like, it teaches you things that you need to know in order to respect yourself in the relationship you're going to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it also teaches you like tolerance as well, like what you're able to tolerate and what you're not.
Like,
Mm.
knowing that men don't listen, that's the thing that we all have to tolerate. We know they don't listen. We know they love us and that
But we
they
know
try,
sometimes they
but
just don't
they don't
listen.
fucking listen, and you just want to be like, God damn it. You're like, God damn it,
Oh.
motherfucker. I love you still, but God damn it. If you want to tell us about your heartbreak, tell us.
Head on over.
So yeah, send it, but send a joke with it so we can like laugh with you on that part. 'Cause,
Or we'll send the joke back.
I'm more of a GIF kind of girl.
Jeff kind of girl.
Whatever, how the fuck you say it, whatever the argument is, I don't care. All right, I'm good on this. I'm ready to check out this hotel.
Yes,
Y'all are.
please.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, we're checking out. Anyways, checking into this social media moment, we are going to talk about this. I'm actually kind of intrigued to see y'all's opinion on this, because I have a pretty firm stance on it of how I feel. But it came out that Dr. Dre's 38-year-old daughter is homeless, and he has no intentions of helping her and doesn't plan to. So I'm gonna let y'all talk and say how y'all feel.
So I didn't really look a whole lot into it, but I do want to know if you guys looked into it any more deeper. Was he helping her out at any point in life?
I did not look into it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that since it is Dr. Dre,
And he doesn't have a good track record with women.
no.
He beat up a reporter. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah. But I'm just saying in general,
A black female
typically
reporter.
they oh gosh, how do you say it? People of that status tend to give their children money because of that, the way that they're set up. And apparently she's never done anything right. She's been on drugs, she's done some horrible stuff, and she's 38 years old. My thing is, Dr. Dre, his bad ish and all of that aside, he don't need to be taking care of her. She's too old to be taken care of by Daddy Dre. Like, she needs to fend for herself. She needs to go get herself a job. She needs to get on her feet. If she stops with whatever she's doing that's illegal or whatever is messing with her life, she needs to use her dad's last name and status and get herself a job. Because the thing of it is that kids who come from privilege like this, in any instance, they don't have to suffer. They choose to suffer, like she is, but they don't have to be in this situation just solely because of who their parents' name is and their status.
Yeah.
So I just feel like Dr. Dre, if he is helping her monetarily, he should stop it, cut it off, mind his own damn business, and she needs to get on with her own business.
All right. So I have the deets from Daily Mail because, of course, I had to go on a pop site to find this out. Okay, yeah, she is 38 years old. She is a delivery driver for DoorDash and Uber Eats. She was receiving help from him up until 18 months ago, and she's been pleading for additional help since. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, no,
So,
no,
Yeah,
no,
you don't
no.
need
What do
it.
you think?
Shawty has been getting money
Yeah.
up until a year and a half ago, aka the fucking pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And which I think is kind of shitty timing, but whatever. It's not my money, not my business. But either way, I agree. She is 38 years old. She's too grown to
Mm-hmm.
still need my help.
Yep.
Yeah, no. X that.
Figure it out.
Assistance? Yes, I'll of
Assistance is
course.
one thing. If especially, I
Right.
could understand the assistance being given if you are figuring it out and
I'm
daddy
willing
is
to
Right.
put the
helping
work
you,
And
in
life
to
right?
happens.
do
And
it.
daddy is just helping you out along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But for you to not put zero work in,
No.
No, we gotta do better than that.
it's just
Sis.
like, come on.
Her allowance ended in January of 2020.
Also, but pre-pandemic,
So it's
so that's when he
actually
got tired of it.
Yeah, so he was just genuinely tired of it. It wasn't like he was just like, "Oh, this COVID mess, nah, I can't be sparing no
Mm-mm.
money for you, sis." No, this is pre-COVID, blowing up the world. So
No.
yeah, no, I don't feel bad for her. I don't know how she got to this place, but it doesn't seem like there's a good track record of her out there. But also, I haven't dove into her shit, and also it's none of my goddamn business. But what is my business is that this information's out there and people are like, he should be helping. No, the fuck he shouldn't.
Mm-mm.
28-year-old, I kind of understand because you're still in
Yeah.
the realm of figuring out how you're going to be an adult and how you're going to make the money to become a real adult because we're not adults yet. We're almost there.
Mm-hmm.
Almost there. Yeah, I get that. But 38 years old, that's damn near 40, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Exit stage left.
Yeah, so we all feel the same way about this then?
That's great. Perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Meeting
right.
adjourned.
Wonderful.
Gavel.
If you have a similar situation, tell us all about your lovely little setup. I love to hear about it, and I probably will judge. So if you want to send a fake name, that'll probably be awesome. Anyways, moving on to our second topic, we're going to talk about grieving the person that you thought they were. So of course, tying into heartbreak, that is one of the process, at least in my thoughts. It's the stage of heartbreak where you start to get towards the end. At least it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask you ladies, how do you grieve your life changes?
I think mine's is more of an acceptance that they're happening more than, because when I think of grief, I think of like the 5 stages of grief.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm more in the what's like the last 2 stages? Acceptance is always the last one. I think it's realization and acceptance. I think I'm usually always in the last 2 phases of realizing it and fucking just accepting it for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just moving past it. Because I don't do, I've mentioned this before, that I don't do well on dwelling on things.
Mm-hmm.
because I know I'm a person that can get very deep into my head, and that's a very scary place for me to be. So I just try to just realize and accept most of the time
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because I can't sit with things. Things can't sit with me. Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, no, I
That's
feel
when
you.
the sleepless nights happens and all that shit. That's why I say I don't have a good conscience. My conscience does not like guilt.
Yeah.
That shit
That's
fucks with my
why.
bowels and it fucks with my sleep. I'm good.
That's why we tell
Oh
the
my
truth.
god.
Mm-hmm.
If we
Yeah.
do anything that might make us question ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
if we do it, we've thought about it, and we're okay with the consequences of
Mm-hmm.
we might not be
Mm.
okay with how we feel about
Right.
it later.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But if we're doing it, we've already accepted that part of what it is, what it is.
I think I would combine the whole acceptance, but also still being in that first stage of numbness. Like you just
Mm.
feel like you're walking through like a dream.
Yeah.
Like you constantly feel like you're dreaming and that you know it happened. And it's not really denial, it's just that you're accepting the fact that what once was is no longer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
the fact that time is still going
Yeah.
and dates are
Yeah.
still passing. You have to get over those dates, which is one of the hardest things for me is whenever a date comes up. Um,
Mm.
but realizing that that holiday is still gonna happen, that next day is still gonna happen, and people just keep on moving, and you got to keep on moving and fight through the whole pain of it all. So that's a struggle, but you got to get through it.
Well, one thing that I had to grieve and accept that that's just not who I am or will ever be again is realizing who I was from like young Melissa of like high school, early college to being like more my 25-year-old self, being like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, these are things in life where I cannot accept less than XYZ element of P,
Yeah.
and accepting that about yourself, and also accepting that that doesn't make you a bad person or judgmental of other people. It's just what it takes to keep you happy and zen and all that other shit.
Mm-hmm. Real talk.
So for like people like me, and I mean honestly all three of us, like people can call us bougie. Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I make my money and I make enough money to get the bougie shit I like and live in the
Yep.
bougie neighborhoods that I like and live
Mm-hmm.
my to go salads ass bougie life. I love me some fucking kava, okay? Uh I work very hard to get these things and you're not going to make me feel bad about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to splurge on yourself. And you have high expectations.
But you have to grieve and accept that that's just
Mm-hmm.
not anything less than that. It's just not who you are anymore.
Yeah. There's no time to sacrifice what you want.
No, like the days of accepting children because you were a child at the time, men who would have mattresses on the floor. That's a no.
Mm.
I am too bougie, too grown, too all that for
Yeah.
that. That's a no. That's
Mm-hmm.
just not. Those are not the type of people I let into my fortress.
No, we need a bed frame and a box spring. Thank you.
I need furniture as a whole.
Yes.
What was it? No TVs on top of storage containers.
Packing boxes
or milk crates.
or the kitchen counter.
What?
Don't do that.
The
Oh
kitchen. What are
yeah.
you talking about?
My
Hold the
friend.
phone.
Yeah.
Girl.
I would never. I would walk out the house. I'd be like, I'm sorry, but you said what?
Like that SpongeBob meme where SpongeBob walks in the door and then he just looks side eyed and he walks right back out.
Yep, that'll be me. I'll be like, ooh.
Fuck
I
is
think
this?
my mom is calling me, but you're 28. I think she's
We have a
calling
great
me. I gotta
connection.
get home before the sunset. Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, that's a thing.
That's a no for me, dog.
Definitely a thing. Yep.
See, this is why I can't be single because some motherfuckers be having their feelings hurt.
Yeah. sorry, not sorry at all.
No, not at all. I don't feel better for saying any of that.
Mm-mm.
Because I wouldn't have said it. But I love because you should grieve someone regardless of whether they're here or not, because to me that's the moment, any relationship, friendship, love, whatever, where you have to decide between needing that person in your life or
Mm-hmm.
deciding that you're not going down the same path anymore
Being
and that
like,
you're okay with
Yeah.
it.
being like, fuck that shit, I'm out.
Well, yes, unpolitely said yes. That's exactly what I mean. It's a fuck that motherfucker moment. Like, hold
It is.
up.
It is. It has to be. Like sometimes things has to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta say fuck you to people for your sanity. Like
You gotta like put your hand on your chest and have like the clutching of the pearls moment. Like, bitch, who are you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
yep,
You clearly got me fucked up from
right.
somebody else.
I am not that person.
Nor will I ever be. You want to try again? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But that's like, especially like in a heartbreak of any kind, that's the moment where you have to decide how you're going to heal.
Yeah.
Now, in a specifically a relationship sense, if you decide that that person's still the person you want to be with, but they broke up with you, sis, you gonna have to accept
That's a wrap.
that is just not what's happening right now, and that you gotta move on. But in a friendship sense, deciding whether you want that person in your life still is a big decision, because to me, once you make that next step of if they're not the person you want in your life, you gotta set that boundary and stay strong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you can't do the wishy-washy, oh, I miss them, rose-colored beer glasses bullshit. No. When you say you're done with that motherfucker, you done.
And everybody has their stages to being done. Because I've known people who said that they've done like 1,000,000 times and still go back to the same goddamn person every single time that they done. So,
Yeah.
oh no, that's not me. I don't believe in breaks. It's either we in this or we out of this.
Yeah, because like, as we all know, I'm the person who dives deep. Whether it's a friendship, a relationship, if I'm in there, I'm in there. Don't let me get emotionally attached to you, and then you be like, oh, never mind, takesy backsies. And nah, bitch, we together.
Yeah, that's how I am. I don't like a lot of people. So if I like you, that's a big deal.
Yeah, right.
If I tell my friends I like you, because I don't normally tell my friends that I like guys. Simple as that. So if I tell my friend that I like you, you about to be my man. Simple as that.
No, that is your man. That is your man. I called her boyfriend like right before, like they didn't even officially be together yet, and I called him on her phone, and I was like, "So you know y'all together, right?
Because
I
she
just
likes
need you.
And
I
she
just
don't
need
like
you
a
to
lot
know
of
that.
people.
Like, if she's telling me shit, like I just want you to know, like y'all together.
That's something. Because
Yeah.
Kishana don't really talk about guys with my friends.
She gave you the business, and she was not giving nobody the business. Y'all together. And there's no other out of this. Y'all are together. Okay. He was like, I mean, I didn't even get officially. Oh, no. I was just calling to let you know that's how I feel, and that's
He was
what's
like,
happening.
damn, I was gonna do this when she came back.
Too bad. I decided that this was a thing, and y'all can have your romantic moment when y'all get home.
Yeah, no, because any of my friends who actually really know me like that will tell you that I'm a person that I don't really talk about relationship stuff or
Boy
talk
stuff.
about boy stuff because ew, boys. And then it's also for the fact that I'm not a person that gets super emotional, or I dive myself emotionally into people. I think that's what it is for me as well. So once I do dive in emotionally, that's a big fucking deal. And if I did, you wholeheartedly know that I genuinely like you. Like there's many things about you I like for me to even get that far, because when I put up a wall and when my heart is guarded, it's guarded very well. So for me, that shit can hit hard or not hit hard. It just all depends on the type of person you were to me in it. So that's why with friendships, like Melissa say, it hits a little bit harder than relationships.
Because I trusted you. I was vulnerable with you.
Right. With friends, I dive deep with my
Mhm.
friends. Like, so that type of grieving the person that they were is a little bit harder because it's like, I can't believe this bitch.
Like, when the fuck did this happen? Hold up. Did I miss a couple meetings?
When did you become this person? Who do you think you are treating me like that?
Who do you think I am? Fuck who you are. Who do you think I am? Like, clearly the definition of who I am in your life has changed. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, that shit is real. And having to grieve that shit to be like, oh wow, so I was bamboozled.
I was hoodwinked.
Mm.
Scallywags.
Hoodwinked.
Like, just all the things. Cause bitch, you tried it and I it took me this long to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
So having to grieve that person is just like really, it's really deep diving into, like, if you're not gonna have them in your lives, deep diving into, be like, all right, I need, like, for me, y'all know I love a block a motherfucker in a minute. If I have an
Yeah.
opportunity to block
Oh, yeah.
someone, it feels so good.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
It
I
feel
have
like
no problem.
it actually feels it, like, I feel the happiness in me now, and I have no one to block, but it feels so good for me to block someone. So when I'm done with you, I'm unfollowing, I am blocking, I'm doing whatever I can to not have you in my existence. I am shielding you out of my life because I'm done. If I don't want reminders of what was and who you were. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, who you are, because you still look like yourself. Just your personality's changed. So I don't
Right.
want to see you. If I'm done, I'm done. I don't want to see you. I don't want to fake like your pictures. I don't want to give you, like, no. I'm good.
Yep. That's why I'm sorry. I don't stalk exes. This is why I don't look for my exes. None of that shit like that.
First of all,
Because I don't
That's deadly.
need a reminder that you were in my life at some point.
I
I
remember.
unfollow jobs that I stopped working for. I
I
don't even want a
unfollow people
reminder.
that I don't that from high school that I rarely ever
Don't
had a
interact with.
conversation with. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want none of it. All of it's got to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm good. So on the other hand, have y'all experienced deciding that that person was the person you wanted to keep in your life? So I wanted to ask that question because I want to make sure that this is how y'all feel as well, is that when you decide to let that person is needed, they're necessary in your life, that I feel like you need to sit down with that person and talk through those issues to clear it out.
Yes.
Because if not, you're still gonna have those shady feelings and thoughts and paranoid aromas and all that shit that was in your situation before.
Unfortunately, Melissa, it doesn't go away.
Oh no, it doesn't go away. When I say clear, I mean, like, let's be very clear. These are the situations where I wholeheartedly
Yeah.
disagree with you, and here's
Mhm.
why. You could feel how you want to feel about my reaction to it, but this
Right.
is how I feel. And either we can have it be an open conversation about how to better our friendship,
Yeah.
Mm.
but the distrust and the betrayal and all that shit that led to that point, that doesn't go
No.
anywhere.
Yeah, you don't forget those things. Yeah.
It's just like a regular relationship. If y'all break up because someone did something and whatever, it's still gonna linger. Just like Ross and Rachel, they broke up and got back together and still couldn't let go of the first problem that they had in
We were
general.
on a break.
Yeah, you fucking were. I don't see the fucking problem, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, but if you don't talk through that shit, it's like that lingering feeling is gonna lead to more paranoia and more this and more distrust into that person, regardless of whether they're trying or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't even give them the chance.
It festers like a virus.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say you gotta clear that air. Just
Yeah. And for me, I think a lot of the times I become more empathetic towards people more than people are empathetic towards me. And I know that I can dwell in life without many people around me. I can dwell perfectly fine
Yes.
with like 2 or 3 people around me comfortably. But I never ever want people to feel alone.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know I'm perfectly fine within loneliness. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't view loneliness as being a negative thing. So I find myself a lot being very empathetic towards other people's feelings more than they are towards mine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that has to tie into, and not to make this a thing, but I think it is that we're Black women. The
Yeah.
people who, majority, I would say, not all, majority of the people who I've had to cut out of my life were people who didn't give me the just desserts of asking me the real questions they wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of saying, "Hey, you did this that pissed me off, and I didn't like it, and here's why," they didn't give me that option. They just said, "Oh, well, fuck her,"
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because they know that I get spicy. It's not a secret. My mouth is reckless. I'm very aware of this. But if I'm ever in a situation where my friend feels offended by me, let's be very clear. That shit is out the window.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to come. I don't come into situations to be
Yeah.
hostile.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only time I'm gonna get hostile if you get hostile at me. But if you're
Right.
coming at me as a human being, just trying to talk through your emotions to make our friendship continue, I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
disrespect you.
Yeah.
Come talk to me like a human. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me how I could fix it. Tell me how I could correct things in the future if I can. And if I can't, I'm gonna tell you that too.
Yeah.
But they don't give us that chance.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, like in that situation, I had to, when the door, not really like the doorway was opened back, but when the initiative was made,
Someone knocked on the door.
yeah, someone knocked at the door, and I had to consult with three of my friends who actually truly knows me and my personality. So there's three people in my life that, as friends, that I know knows my personality and knows how I am to the bone. And I had to consult with all three of these people to be like, is this the correct thing to do? Should I open back this door? I mean, don't get it wrong. I don't regret opening up back the door. I think it was the right thing to do. Even till to this day, I think it was the right thing to do. But at the same time, I feel like once making those decisions, I feel like you definitely should consult with people who knows you, and
Mm-hmm.
also like think about whether this person has really changed, or whether this person has seen maybe that they did something wrong, or maybe if you were the one that did that person wrong, whether, and decide whether or not that change was made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if they know change was made, and if you open back that door and the same fuck shit happens, or the same, or patterns of fuck shit about to happen, close it,
And bolt it.
bolt it shut.
No keys, just bolts. That's it.
Right.
Mm.
Like that shit a mission impossible to open.
Like, bitch, you gonna try it today to get out of here, because I'm
Yeah, no.
good.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear about what I said. I only say that or I think that's, we don't get the fair shot because we're Black women, is because I'm confident at least 90% of people who have cut me off for no reason were not Black.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've had one Black friend really do that to me, and she had her own list of issues that she was dealing with.
Yeah.
But my
Mm-hmm.
non-Black friends are the ones that usually cut me off without any option or conversation or anything to redeem myself as a friend.
Yeah.
I hope for more, exceptions to the rule, but unfortunately that's just something I've had to deal with, the friendship heartbreaks from my friends in those situations.
Yeah.
That tells a lot about them too, though.
Well,
Yep. That they
yeah.
don't value it. That they don't value
Mm-hmm.
friendship.
Yep. You're
Because these
just
are
another
people.
person.
Because these are the type of people that have formed so many friendship over their lifetime, or acquaintances, that they're just so used to
Mm-hmm.
having like these momentary friends that
Yep.
they don't realize how they have impacted somebody else's life being a friend. You understand? And
And
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times people don't take that into consideration. Maybe you don't view the friendship the same way somebody else does, especially when you're giving all vibes and we're all kikiing and hanging out, having girls' night and all this shit like that. So,
well, it's stuff like that, plus the type of person who doesn't have to, like, not even that they don't work at their friendship, is that they're used to having people very much like them,
Yep.
or
yeah.
the people who cater to them.
Mm.
So when they're not used to different people from different environments, because like perfect example for me coming from Queens, New York, being around pretty much black people and my sprinkles of other races that I grew up with, like going from there to Charlotte, North Carolina, the Bible Belt, motherfuckers were taken aback by me. They were not prepared. And I didn't give a fuck. I was like, okay.
And
sounds like a y'all
Your
problem.
point.
right.
But there's people who want to be friends with someone like me, but then they don't realize what it takes to be friends with someone like me. Like, yes, I'm a very abrasive, loud person, but at the end of the day, I'm still a person. So all you have to do is talk to me like a person. Don't hide your feelings when you feel some type of way about something. Collect them and come at me correct.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's what I'm owed as a human. You come to other humans correctly. But you gotta, if you're not prepared to be, if you're friends with a person who's very aggressive in more ways than one, you gotta know how to properly combat them and not be combative.
Yeah.
And that's just when you're used to people who are just like you and don't have any other type of experience in any of that, you're like, all right, I'm good. I've tried.
Yeah.
This is all the effort I have.
Yeah, pretty much.
My other friends don't require this because they're just like you.
No, I think that's a lot of people though.
Just saying. Whew, that felt good.
It was like therapy.
Oh yeah.
I love these sessions.
Gotta love it.
And the season's coming to an end, y'all.
I'm learning that I need to get more involved in touch with my feelings.
My God.
Because I feel like I am an emotionally smart person, but when it comes to my own emotions, I just like throw them more on the back burner.
No, that's correct.
Yes. So I think that's what it is.
You know what I just thought of? If this was Guys Next Door, you'll be Mouse, Kelly would be Ryan, and I would be Mac.
Sounds about right.
That's very accurate. Can we have them on, please?
I don't think we're on that level yet.
No, we're not on that level.
Know,
and also, me like and Mouse would either fight or be best friends. I have no idea which one it would be, but yeah.
Probably be best friends. You never know.
Yeah.
I don't know because he's grown a lot. He's grown a lot since season 1. This is super ties into it, but he's grown a lot since season 1, but he's still toxic as fuck. So I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, all right, ladies. Well, we've checked into the Heartbreak Hotel, checked out, took a little vacation over at Drelands, and left this bitch at Grieving Canyon, and we about to go home. We almost there.
Sounds like a Sims.
Right. Sounds like some villages in Sims.
Yeah.
Welcome to the town of Grieveland, where all your grievances come true.
Oh God, that's
got a complaint? Leave it at the mayor's office.
That sounds like hell. Well, before we wrap up this episode, want to get into our weekly recommendations. And for those of you who are just joining us, thanks for listening. This is anything that we think will help improve your lives, just make your day a little better. And it could be movies, music, TV shows, whatever we think will help. So, ladies, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I have a PSA.
Ooh, tell them about it.
So this month is actually Women's Breast Self-Check Month. Bada boom, bada bing. So if y'all don't know, you ladies should be checking your little tatas, making sure there's no lumps. Well, melons, cantaloupes, whatever the case is. Grapefruit.
I got a pair.
Make sure that you're just checking, do a self-check, go on Google, do the whole examination. They do little pictures that are easy to follow, and just make sure that you don't feel anything that's not normal and could potentially be cancer, because Black women do have a higher chance of getting breast cancer and any other side effects and complications that may arise in our ducts of the tatas. So
I've
That's
already
just
had
my
that
little
surgery.
PSA.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do it every day.
Yes. Well, also to that, just to hop on Mrs. Keller's East Side's advice, make sure that you make your doctors listen, because
Mm-hmm.
doctors love not to listen to women, especially black women. They just like to be like, "Oh no, it's fine," and you're like, "But I'm bleeding from the
It's
nipple."
in your head.
It's not
That's
fine.
impossible.
I'm not being dramatic. I am not being hysterical. I am just dying. Can you help me?
It's like, sir,
Yep.
you really think I'm gonna walk into your office and waste my time and your time telling
And
you
my
I'm
copay.
bleeding from the
Exactly,
nipple?
for copay.
I don't come here for free.
Literally. Costs me.
This isn't enjoyable.
The hell? It's cold in here.
Such a non-traumatizing experience, you know?
Whatever. Beautiful. I love that advice, Miss Kells.
Yes.
Ladies,
Yeah.
tits up. Check your girls.
Yes.
Love it. KK, go ahead. There you
All right, I'll go. I feel like Melissa has given this recommendation before, but yesterday on my long road trip to Brooklyn, I finally fully listened to Nas's new album, King's Disease, and
One or two?
My God, two.
Okay.
And well, King's Disease one is also good. So
Thank
they're
you!
both fucking fire. So
It's amazing.
That's what I say. What do
they're
I
both
know?
fucking fire. But I was very pleasantly pleased by King's Disease 2. If y'all want some old New York flair with some kind of new-ish hip hop to it, beats
It's like
as
a
well.
new OG vibe
Right,
that's happening, and I'm fucking fine with this.
Right, like I feel like these beats aren't beats that Nas would technically be on, but then it's just like it goes with Nas. I don't know. There's just so much going on, but I love it.
It's beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
very beautiful. So yeah, check it out. Nas, King's Disease 2, great album. Also check out one if nobody's checked it out before.
And to you old heads that don't like King's Disease 1, suck my dick, because
Y'all be
he
okay.
is no longer old Nas. He is 50-something years old. Y'all
Right.
get over it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, well, mine is some PSA girls advice, exclusively for those of us who are being responsible humans and following the rules by your state and the CDC and doing your COVID best practices. This is some fun advice for us who have been good boys and girls and thems and theys. Plan yourself a little tiny friends getaway. Okay? Do it.
Mm-hmm.
It can be small, literally about 4 people max, y'all. Like, don't be wilding out. Don't be wilding out in these streets. Like, this is not a party cabin trip or whatever. No, this is a small friends relaxation thing that you should do. Reconnect, release some of life's bullshit and tensions out, and get drunk and do whatever you want. But just go do it responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
Please make sure you go get tested before and after. I'm about to get my after. I need to schedule that today. But I got my test before, because you know why? Because I love my people, and I'm not going to go on a trip and get people sick. Okay?
And you know why else? Because you love yourself.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
That too.
Self-love, people.
I do. I love
that is how you practice it.
So that's my little piece of advice for those of us who are not going on 15 vacations right now. Give yourself a little getaway. This year's been stressful on many fronts, and we all need it.
Yes. Agreed.
Wonderful. All right, ladies. Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk to the class about?
No, I think the class is very well in need of dismissal.
All right, cool. Let's get this party started.
Cool. All right, Peralta.
We have been binge watching it hard the last year.
That episode.
Every episode, I'm like, yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yep. Sorry about that, y'all. Well, that is all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening to High Tea with Mel, Kelly, Hay. don't forget, you can go ahead and leave us about 5 stars and put a nice little review of what you thought of this episode. Please and thank you. If you want us to give you advice or want to tell us your tea, go ahead and send us an email at hightmkk@gmail.com. And of course, last but not least, go ahead and follow us on all the social medias. We have Instagram at hight_podcast and Twitter at hightpod, the number 1. And take a look in the description for all links and everything high tea. We'll see you next week. Bye.